these two have had. They have already met once this season as well. It was back in round 4 of the campaign in Perth, and it was a 2-0 victory for Melbourne victory, courtesy of goals to Keegan Jelassic and the Spaniard Juan Mata in what was Adam Griffith's first match in charge as Perth Glory coach. Stand by me, ringing out from the Melbourne victory faithful as we have a look at how the two sides line up. And after 3 consecutive identical starting 11s, Arthur Dillis has been forced into 2 changes, as right back Josh Rawlins and central midfielder Jordi Valadon are both at the under-23 Asian Cup with Tony Vidmar's side. Josh Insera comes in at right back, and Denny Jonro makes his first start since being sent off against Brisbane Roar back in round 6. Juan Mata continues in that number 10 role behind the now prolific victory attack, led by the league's equal top scorer with 5 goals, Nikos Virgos. And the 32-year-old Jack Duncan is up against one of his former sides. He spent 2 years at Perth Glory between 2013 and 15, playing backup goalkeeper to a certain Danny Vukovic for those 2 seasons, in the end making just 7 league appearances. After an excellent first season at Victory last year, he's back between the posts, having seen off the now retired Mitch Langerak. For Perth Glory, well, they've used more players than any other side so far this season, but for just the second time in charge, Adam Griffiths has not made any changes to his starting 11 from one week to the other. Stability is certainly helping at the back, while up front, Arion Suleimani, the former Melbourne City youngster, was outstanding and provided his first assist against his former club last Sunday. One of them for Tom Lawrence, who helped himself to a first hat-trick against City in A-League football. Also note, on the bench for the first time this season, English number 10, Luke Amos. Wearing the captain's armband, one of just 3 Perth Glory players to have played every single minute so far this season. Scott Wootton, the 34-year-old and former Manchester United youth product, has been outstanding. He has a great partnership with Brian Kaltak. He is, however, walking a bit of a tightrope. 4 yellow cards so far this season. If he picks up one today, he will be suspended for next weekend's match against the Mariners. Arthur Dillis, he has a perfect record against Perth Glory since taking over after just a handful of matches last season. 2 from 2. His opposite number, Adam Griffiths. Well, the first game, that loss at home to Melbourne victory, was his first in charge. And he's looking for revenge. Our referee is Casey Rybelt. She is being assisted by Owen Goldrick and Daniel Ilyevsky. Jack Morgan is the 4th official. And in the VAR room, Adam Kersey and Anton Shetinen. Big round of applause from the south side of Amy Park for Jack Duncan as he makes his way down there as Melbourne victory changed sides. 2 of the form players in the competition acknowledging each other just before kick-off. Perfect evening for football down in Melbourne between 2 sides desperate to keep their good runs going. Well, given the time of the year, this is something of the resurrection derby. These 2 sides back from the brink earlier in the campaign, but will it be 4 in a row for Melbourne victory for the first time since 2018 when they went on to win the league? Or will it be 4 consecutive away wins for Perth Glory for the first time in club history? Daniel McBreen, either way, good things come in 4s this evening.
Well, unless there's a draw, Robbie. Good evening, everybody. Well, tantalising fixture we have tonight. 2 teams that really started the season disastrously. They've really turned it around now. players, teams. This man, Brian Kaltak, he's left that a little short, but we're starting to see him get back to the Brian Kaltak we know. The other end, another time, Nikos Vergos. There's plenty said about him. Well, he's on fire now.
And first attack of the evening with Josh Insera in for Josh Rawlins, breaking down that right-hand side cross block, first corner for the home team. And it is Mata to take. In it comes, back post. Sam Sutton with the header away only as far as Nishan Velupillay, taking on Will Freeney, another of these Perth youngsters who's been outstanding in recent weeks.
Well, that's a great thing about football, isn't it, in our A-League, is that how quickly it can change. And players stepping up. Whistler has been great as well. Well, Freeney has really stepped up to the plate, and you'd look on the other side, as we were talking about, Nikos Vergos getting 5 goals in his last 3. Well, Nishan Velupillay and Louis Dorigo, for mine as well, have been absolutely outstanding and brought the rest of their teammates up with them. They started slow this season, and he's got them humming now.
There is Louis Dorigo, one of the in the engine room, with the right knee very heavily strapped, particularly the inside of that knee, that medial ligament side. Let's hope that it's only precautionary. Here is Sutton. He was actually injured on the eve of the season in a friendly against Melbourne Victory. Missed the start of the campaign, but is back now. These two sides met twice in pre-season. They know each other very well, as you see Louis Dorigo's right knee there. It was back-to-back wins for Melbourne Victory. Perhaps it was an ominous sign of things that were to come in the early part of the campaign for Perth Glory. But haven't they turned things around? And here they're onto the front foot immediately here. Good run. Osler wants a free kick. Referee Casey Rybelt saw nothing untoward there, but Esposito has got himself in a bit of a muddle. Tom Lawrence quickly on the scene, but it's gone out for a goal kick.
Well, a neat little touch there. And when he gets his head up, he decides he's going to drive. Just a little tug there. Esposito strong in the challenge.
Charbel Shamoun all the way back to Matt Sutton. He will be hoping there's some good news from his coach and directors in the next couple of weeks when the transfer window opens. Signed as an injury replacement for Mark Birighitti, and by certainly from a neutral observer's point of view has been one of the real positives for this side at an individual level, and the rumours are there could be a contract on the table for him.
Well, would be well deserved, as you mentioned. The one blemish last week, obviously the goal that they gave away right at the end, but he has been outstanding for the most part.
There are a couple of really big saves in there before that moment as well, where he had the little brain fade, but there was one of them in the victory ranks last weekend as well, where Jason Davidson completely got caught in possession. Popped one up for the Phoenix. Otherwise, on what was a great night for Melbourne Victory, a 5-1 win over Wellington Phoenix. Then a hat-trick for Nikos Vergos. Esposito again, but the flag was up for offside.
Well, you're saying that these teams are treading the same path, aren't they? One brain fade last week, hat-trick each. Started the season relatively or poorly, now coming good. Only 1 point separates them in the league.
And a place in the 6 awaits the winner.
Yeah.
If there is one.
Yeah, 5th place. If there is a winner tonight.
They can almost certainly bank on there being goals as well, even if defences are fast improving. Scoring goals is so often a question of confidence. No lack of that with Lawrence and Vergos. in this side. Here is Matt Sutton, told by Scott Wooden just to slow things down. Let's get set. Against Melbourne City, they very rarely played out from the back. They look to bypass that, so we're already seeing a slight tactical change. Was Sutton inviting the pressure. And that can happen when you decide to play through the press. Sometimes you can get caught by the press. Von Mata, one of those involved, gets through a mountain of work at 37 years of age, and in the end it's a turnover. There was no way out for Perth Glory there. Esposito with the big switch of play, looking for Santos. Interesting, we normally see Santos on the other side as well, with Nishan Velupillay on this left-hand side. It's a early switch between those two.
Well, they can play either, can't they? They're so versatile across that area. There's Arthur Dillis has had enough of the flies.
It is one of the things we don't talk about so much of playing, being a summer competition. But the air guard certainly has to be part of every A-League kit. Osler. Great to see him back playing in a good team as well. It's a while ago now, but he had back-to-back knee reconstructions a few years ago. Made his way back from one, and then in his first game back, which was a friendly match, he did his other knee. Not easy to come back from, shows great resilience. The Perth number 20. Miranda with Davidson inviting Pennington with that little heavy touch. Throw taken quickly and long towards Denny Jonro. We'll be hoping to have a good game. It's a big match for Denny Jonro. Sent off against Brisbane back in round 6, a 3-match suspension. Came back to a place on the bench. I think Jack Morgan might have just asked for the fly spray there.
Well, you're right. So much spoke about Denny Jonro coming back to Australia to try and push his claims. World Cup at the end of this season. Let himself down with that sending off, and he knew it straight away. You could see when it happened, he realised what he'd done in the moment of frustration. He's had plenty of time to think about it. And now it's just getting back to playing football again.
Osler goes without it. Insera. Young right back who lost his place to Josh Rawlins. As Arthur Dillis said, victory won't stand in between their players and a chance to represent their country, even in the under-23 Asian Cup. As Insera's ball in towards Burgos. And Santos at the back post. Well, if he'd managed to just make contact, it would have been very hard for Sutton to stop.
Well, it was a great ball in, wasn't it? Burgos was drawing the attention of the defenders, and Santos just behind. It looks like it just may have slipped as he was looking to make contact. And that was a good opportunity. Great ball in.
The first half chance of the evening. Perth, who are notoriously slow starters, or perhaps that's to do mostly with their terrible start to the season, as Freeney tries one from distance. They've conceded 5 goals in the first 15 minutes of matches. Adam Griffiths won't like that stat, but he also won't like to see that.
And you can hear what he was, or you could read his lips there. I want you to go forward every single time in behind. Trying to get the balls in behind that high victory line. Worked so well for them last week against City. Suleimani was fantastic. Stretching the line, causing problems. And when you stretch that line, it then creates space in midfield as the defensive line has to drop. And play that cat and mouse game.
Melbourne Victory fans enjoying the festivities so far. They're on the back foot here though. The cutback. Oh, great finish. Trent Osler. The first goal of the season. Brilliantly worked. Reece Bozanovski it was that burst down the right-hand side. Normally just sits in front of the defence. He stepped on the accelerator. An assist for him. And a great finish from Trent Osler.
Well, on the Harvey Norman replay, we'll see it was just all so simple. Just heads it on and just goes. Puts the hammer down. And it's a great pass as well. Got his head up and looked for the runner. But it's too easy for Melbourne Victory. Look at that. Just a little glance and realises I've got Miranda for pace. And in he goes, and there, you see the little look. He could have just put it across the 6 yard, but he picks out Trent Osler, who tucks it away beautifully into the corner. And the first time, after Adam Griffiths says, get him behind every time, they listen, and it ends up in the back of the net. What a start for Perth Glory.
What a turnaround under Adam Griffiths. You can see the coach watching on as Trent Osler gets his first of the season, the 5th of his career. It's come in the 12th minute. Tom Lawrence scored in the 10th against Melbourne City. They have hit the Melbourne clubs early at Amy Park.
Just when you said they was slow starters, Robbie.
Well, they might yet concede. That is often the case as Pennington now. There could be another here. Pennington looks back post. The header back across. Oh, we're so close. Surely. And it's in. Tom Lawrence. But he's offside.
Wow.
On this near side.
Sorry, Robbie. This will be close. This will be very close. Well, I thought in the first when Trent Osler broke away, he should have driven towards goal. There it is in behind again. Here I thought he should have gone across and cut towards goal, but he slows down and allows the defence to get back. But he picks out at the back post Tom Lawrence. That's a good header. And I tell you what, yeah, I'll have a tight look at this.
Well, if it didn't get a touch on the way through, I think Pennington probably was a little bit offside on that near side. Let's head down to Michael Zappone, who's with us on the sidelines this evening. Zappers, it looks as though Roderick Miranda has come off second best after that initial run from Bozanovski as well.
Yeah, you could see just as he was trying to track Bozanovski back that he looked well off the pace, and we know that Roderick Miranda has had a lot of injury issues at the early part of the season. He missed a big chunk of the first part of the season with a foot injury, so he hasn't had a really good preparation for this season. He's getting some treatment now, as you can see, but Arthur Dillis is not happy at all. I feel like, reading between the lines, that Arthur may have thought that he may have been carrying something into this game, and perhaps it was a risk to start him tonight. We'll find out soon.
Thank you,
another interested onlooker too tonight, gentlemen, is Tony Popovich, is in the crowd here with Hayden Fox, his assistant, who was also, of course, there at the Perth Glory together as coaches back in the day, and Hayden's got his son on the bench as well tonight.
That's right, Riley Fox, who came off the bench last Sunday. Roderick Miranda, the captain's armband, has come off, so he will play no further part, and it's going to be Adama Traore by the looks of things who's coming on there. You see the moment it went, and he knew immediately. Jason Davidson taking over the captain's armband.
Well, here's another look. And let's look. Breaks down this right-hand side. Sorry, Pennington. And there's the ball. Yeah, there you can see. Great work from the cameraman there. Now replay operators, the freeze frame helping us see that clearly.
Here they come again though, Perth. It's a really bright start. Again, the flag just up for offside though. And now Melbourne Victory can make that change with Adama Traore. At 35 years of age, A-League match number 243. For him, he's scored 6 goals. 2 of them have actually come against Perth Glory as well. He's gone straight to left back, and Jason Davidson, who was telling us he'd been playing centre back the last season in Greece before returning to Australia, now gets to show us all. Alongside Esposito at the back, so it's a new central defensive pairing. It's a really new look backline, in fact, for Melbourne Victory all of a sudden, with Insera and Traore in the fullback roles and Davidson and Esposito in the middle at the back. Perth back with the ball. They're doing exactly what they did against Melbourne City, which is break really quickly, find space in behind with that positive attitude. Look at Pennington screaming for the ball, completely free in the middle. That's a good ball as well. And that was Lawrence, but it's turned over, and now Victory can try and come forward. Virgos sprays it out to Velupale, who looks up back post for Santos. Easy enough for Sutton.
Well, with the Melbourne Victory press, on that last occasion they pushed 6 players right into that front third. You can see why Adam Griffiths is saying, you just get the ball forward and make runs in behind. So much pressure high. Nothing wrong with bypassing 6 players. They did it so well against Melbourne City last week. You heard Michael Balconis speaking about if the direct pass is the right pass, well, why wouldn't you do it?
I thought we were going to get another Greek mythology lesson out of you for a second there,
Robbie. I'm not that well versed in Greek mythology.
Adama Traore. Ball over the top, looking for Santos. Brian Kaltak might have left that for his goalkeeper. In the end, Sutton does look long, but they've turned it straight back again. Here's Juan Mata. Adama Traore. With Mata again. They'll be looking to get Juan Mata onto the ball. Santos trying to turn. That's good strength from Genro, but Bozanovski stuck to his task. Good intensity in this contest in the opening 20 minutes. Both sides really going for it. Victory and Perth, you can see 2 very distinct game plans. But for the moment, well, Perth with the upper hand. Here's Velupale. Comes inside. Velupale still. A little foot in there from Freeney, and Lawrence there to help out. Oh, a little too cute though. Velupale shot. Oh, and it squeezes through the gloves of Sutton. And out for a corner. Big heart-in-mouth moment there for the Perth Glory goalkeeper, Matt Sutton.
Well, it's great battling for Nishan Velupale. He almost sneaks in under Sutton.
Mata again, near post. It's a good ball. Missed by Shamoon. Headed away by Kaltak. Perth, who stayed in Melbourne in between these 2 matches, as we heard in the pre-game show. Logistically very tough. Interesting that Perth are one of the best away sides in the competition this year. Adam Griffiths really doesn't do things the same as everybody else.
No, he doesn't. Whatever he's doing, the players are buying in, aren't they?
Louis Dorigo to take. A real scrum of players in the 6-yard box. It goes deep to the back post. Davidson just couldn't get around and get his head on it. Victory have scored from 2 corners so far this season. Perth Glory have only scored 1 set-piece goal so far this season. That was a penalty. And they're yet to concede a goal from a set-piece. They are the open play specialists. The last Perth Glory victory over Melbourne victory was exactly 3 years ago, January 2023. The last time they beat Victory at Amy Park was December 2021. Foul by Davidson, just for arms raised.
I have to say, I tend to agree with Martha Dillis and Andrew Durante there. I don't think there was much in that one.
Dorigo gets it straight back from Mata. Into the feet of Burgos, who's able to turn. Dorigo again, good football. Traore with Denny Jonro. Davidson. Jonro again, squeezes it through. Traore. Good challenge by Shamoon. Victory looking to bounce back. Victory looking to take control of this one. Little 1-2 again. Traore trying to turn. Oh, it's been given to Juan Mata, who gave it away quite cheaply. We're not used to that. Suleimani. He's done well while being held. Crowd don't like it again.
A little sloppy from both teams. Suleimani is well under pressure.
Two shots apiece in the opening 24 minutes. Oh, the break might be on here again. Oh, Tom Lawrence. It's like he almost didn't see Esposito there. Oh, but he's won it back brilliantly. Suleimani. Arian Suleimani. Brilliant stop from Jack Duncan. And Suleimani's search for that first ever A-League goal continues.
Well, what about a save from that man, Jack Duncan? Esposito, you were just talking about how maybe the Perth player didn't see. Well, he didn't know where to go. And all of a sudden, Arian Suleimani was in space. Tom Lawrence works wonderfully well there, and then it's eyeball to eyeball, and Jack Duncan with a fingertip save. And he celebrate. And Adam Griffiths knows exactly what that would have meant, a 2-goal cushion.
They might yet get it. Oh, and the initial header from Brian Kaltak was goal bound. It might have hit one of his own players. They've turned it straight back again. Bozanovsky with Pennington. Perth, who really attack in rhythm, don't they? They come in waves. At the moment, they've upped the ante again here.
Yeah, not much in that, but foul given. But you said it, Robbie. Here's the opportunity. It was going goal bound, wasn't it? Suleimani just couldn't get out the way. I think he was just trying to help it around with his thigh around the corner. And that man, Jack Duncan, He's come up trumps with a wonderful save down to his left.
These two sides already looking so evenly matched. Casey Rybelt's seen another free kick there against Nikos Virgos, which has gone Caltech's way.
Yeah. He was looking at Ryan Caltech jump, just backed into him. Not a problem with that one. I think Casey Rybelt's got that right.
Freeney was looking for Pennington. Adama Traore was there, and a big cheer from the home fans. Good switch for Sutton. Osler ahead of him. Quick feet. Freeney looks up. Cross takes a deflection towards Suleimani. Lawrence is there. And Sarah and Esposito were a little more concerned with Lawrence than the ball, which could have ended badly again. Well, he's a real poison, Tom Lawrence. He runs everything down. He always ends up being where the ball drops.
Yeah, very strong as well, isn't he, on the ball?
Here he is again, little 1-2s. Might yet get it back, he does. From Osler, and now Sutton. Straightens up. No free kick according to the referee there, but Caltech. Oh, the break is on. Fantastic first-time ball from Virgos towards Santos. Sutton did well. Virgos has it back. Evades the challenge of Pennington. Oh, good football from Victory. Traore back towards Virgos. End-to-end stuff.
Well, it's energetic, isn't it? Both teams looking to move the ball quickly, flying into challenges.
And it's taken quickly. Mata. There's another sliding challenge from the Italian-born Australian, Nick Pennington. Louis Dorigo. What an impact he's made since recovering from injury at the start of the season. Now, the last one went deep to the back post towards Davidson. Trent Osler is doing man-to-man marking there, trying to keep him away from his goalkeeper first and foremost. Dorigo near post this time. Shamoun. And then Freeney, and now Suleimani. He's got plenty of pace, Suleimani. He needs support. Well, he's done well in the end, but Victory have managed to get their numbers back. Pennington. Sutton. Pennington again, the two former Wellington Phoenix men. Good ball. Great first touch from Lawrence, and it looked pretty good off the boot as well.
Yeah, lovely first touch, wasn't it? It's not easy just to cushion it, turn towards goal at the same time. And it's been a thorn in Melbourne Victory's side. It's opening half an hour.
4 goals so far this season for him after that hat-trick against City. Sees him just one behind Nikos Virgos. Sutton to take. Players trying to break free. Not this time, they can't. Bozanovski back towards Pennington. And 2 players have gone down in the penalty box. Pennington back to his feet, but it looks like Esposito may have got the ball in the eye, perhaps.
Just wonder if it's a finger or... Yeah.
Pennington wasn't too concerned for the contact. And it does hurt a finger in the eye and can also do some damage. I saw Alex Gersbach wearing the Edgar Davids glasses last night for Western Sydney after a little eye injury. Western Sydney, who lost at home to MacArthur. MacArthur well and truly on the charge at the moment under Mile Sturjovski. Another team on the charge, the Newcastle Jets, who can't seem to put a foot wrong when they cross the Tasman. Another massive win for them over Auckland, no less.
Maybe we found Auckland's bogey team early. Not many have worked out how to beat them. And the Jets have done it twice in the season, both away from home.
And that's what these rivalries are about. When you create them early, as you see there. Well, clearly Sebastian Esposito is in some distress, because I saw the eye drops they were putting in there. The doctor has spent a few minutes. Now he'll have to leave the field of play, but he'll be right to continue. He's been good in recent weeks. We actually saw, I think this week, Michael Zapponi, that he's a recipient of the Michael Zapponi Award. Is that right?
The first and only time an award will be named after me. Yes, he was. He went to school where I went to school, Seb. So great to see him making his way into the A-League. But yes, an honour bestowed upon me will be the first and the last for my footballing ability.
Fantastic, Zappers. And I'm sure it's well deserved. Duncan looks long. Here is Seb Esposito, who runs that ball down, has rejoined, and he's all good. Here's Davidson.
Well, you spoke about two specific styles we've seen. You see Perth just sitting around halfway, a little deeper at times, as we see now. Not too concerned about going out on the press, where in the inverse, Melbourne Victory pressing high, Perth trying to bring them, allow Melbourne Victory to bring players forward, commit players forward, 5-6 to the press, and then try to play in behind. Perth Glory, when are out of possession, are saying, well, break us down.
Now here's Jeanreau, good header into the area. Virgos was trying to get there. Scott Wootton got a toe on it, and it's out for another corner on that far side. And it's really in stark contrast to the press that they put on Melbourne City, as the ball is taken quickly and in. Here's Davidson at the back post, hooks it back in. Good header from Freeney, Suleimani, and now Bozanovski. He's got no one making the run ahead of him, so he'll have to put the brakes on. Freeney again. Under pressure, was looking for Shamoon. Victory come again with Mata. The early cross for Virgos. And it's another corner, met with another cheer from the home fans. They're trying to do their part to try and urge on this Victory side. Taken short into the area with Virgos, the one play you wouldn't want to leave unmarked. Now Jeanreau, it's a great header off the crossbar. How close was that for Melbourne Victory?
Well, they switched off Perth Glory there. Dos Virgos just alone inside the box, and then it's just scrambling now. And then is Jeanreau almost with the perfect header over Matt Sutton. And by the grace of the crossbar, the lead remains intact for Glory.
And there we see one of those balls looking to release quickly, but it wasn't on that time for Tom Lawrence. Melbourne Victory have conceded the opening goal 4 times before today in an A-League match for 4 defeats. so far. For Perth, 3 wins and a draw when opening the scoring. They have also come from behind to win a game. Perth, that was against the Newcastle Jets a few weeks ago now. Adam Griffith's side looking to make it 4 consecutive away wins for the first time for the Glory in A-League history. One of the powerhouses in the final years of the old NSL, Perth Glory. That's a good ball for Juan Mata, but in the A-League era. Great wrestling between Kaltak and Mata. Now Santos. Dorigo. Little touch. Virgos touching it back for Genro. Didn't hit it cleanly. The crowd not happy with the treatment reserved for Juan Mata. He manages to get the cross in though. Back post. Insera now. Victory applying the pressure as we approach half-time. Davidson to Santos. Mata again. Puts it onto that left boot. Back central we come with Genro. Perth allowing players the space to turn in and around the box.
Well, every Perth Glory player in their own box there. They need to get out and get some structure, get organised again, but Victory aren't allowing them, moving the ball around well and quickly.
Genro with Davidson. Traore. Davidson again. Santos. Esposito now with Insera. Mata. And it was Valupale just trying to accelerate things with Dorigo, but it was just that half a yard off.
Well, it was the right idea, wasn't it? Looking to play it quickly and go and follow the pass. Just the radar a little off.
And it's a couple of cheap turnovers at the moment from both sides. The game's just being played at such a frantic pace.
It is. Nick Pennington has taken up a really great position a number of times, just in behind the Victory midfield. It was just a little late coming to him, and then the pass then was a little scrappy as well.
He looks long again towards Suleimani. Pennington and Lawrence getting through a great deal of work. Then Freeney and Osler and Bozanovsky, they've got some real fighters out there, Perth Glory. Mata gets it back from Valupale. The technicians exchanging passes. Valupale leaving it in the end. Picked off. Oh, that's a poor giveaway again from the experienced Tom Lawrence that just invites more pressure. Santos.
Well, good communication from the Perth defence. Just telling Sam something to let that one go. Wasn't too much to aim for.
Virgos talking to as he makes his way back there. He's just trying to get the game moving.
Yeah. Looks like he said break up, was it? But I think he's just trying to say that something's taken so long for these set pieces already in the match. They want the game to get going.
Well, they had a 2-goal cushion against Melbourne City, Perth, and in the second half it was all Melbourne City who put the pressure on and looking for a way back into the game. Perth showed they can defend, showed they can hold firm, but again, we're starting to see a similar thing emerge here, a similar pattern as Victory go on the front foot. Esposito with the big switch, just too much on it for Adama Traore. Lupele and Santos have switched back. Look at that. That tells you the story of where this match has been played. Nearly 3 times as many passes in the opposition half, twice as many into the final third. But the shots at goal don't tell that story now. The yellow card is out for Trent Osler. Tom Lawrence is vehement that was not the case.
Well, it certainly made a great sound, didn't it? You could hear the clatter of boots together. And I think the way that you've got the studs up, I don't think there can be any complaints over that. It's almost like a karate kick at the ball.
Yeah, as soon as you face the studs up like that, you're in trouble. Yellow card, first of the evening for Trent Osler, the goal scorer. Eventful evening for the number 20 so far. Good little touch from Osler for Lawrence. Here's Pennington. Got Suleimani making that run ahead of him. Oh, Pennington just took his eyes off the ball for a moment and completely lost it. In his feet, he recovered to hold on to possession. And again, Matt Sutton overhitting those passes, looking towards wide men. Sarah back with Dorigo, now Esposito with Davidson. Mata coming short, looking for the ball. It's a good run from Velupele. In behind, Shamoon. Velupele down to the byline, comes inside, looking for Mata! Wasn't too far away.
Well, he started the move, didn't he? Juan Mata from deep. The wonderful ball out to Velupele, had a lot of work to go. And look at Mata, he's just coming late as all the bodies get drawn towards the 6-yard area. He comes in and he just gets a little bit too much air in it. Under pressure, it must be said. Sutton just watched and hoped. And it was a good opportunity for a man of his ability. He started the move and looked to finish it as well.
The crowd are getting on Matt Sutton's back every time there's a goal kick now. They want the referee to not be generous at all with anything they perceive as time wasting. They are chasing the game. Victory, but to be fair, they're looking the more dangerous at the moment. Jean Rose hit the crossbar. Mata's gone close as Santos just overruns it.
Well, they're clearly the team trying to pressure and hurry up. And Virgos is getting involved again here. He's actually slowing it down, if anything. And you have to give credit to the Perth Glory defence. They have quite kept Melbourne Victory. It hasn't been a real super chance because Virgos is looking at the big clock and saying, this is rubbish. Come on, I want it done quicker.
There was a wild swing trying to get that ball out towards Santos. Pennington. Foul by Jean Rose. 5 minutes of stoppage time. We had the injury to Roderick Miranda, who was substituted just after the goal in the 16th minute. And then another for Seb Esposito, who went down with an eye injury. Now, they're going to have a corner here, Perth. Sam Sutton working his way. Just had a word to Tom Lawrence, who's coming across to take this. And he applauds the Perth Glory fans. We're here in good numbers again. Minus the Barmy Army, who have headed north to Sydney. Ball in, too close to Jack Duncan, who releases quickly with Mata. Genro, a little touch with Virgos. They've broken forward well enough here. Victory. Now, can they find the second phase? Dorigo with Davidson. Perth have numbers back. Oh, it wasn't a bad idea. Perth very disciplined in their 4-4-2 formation. Mata using every inch of the pitch.
And what we've seen in the last 10-15 minutes is possession was pretty split, pretty evenly 50-50. And we're now seeing 60% for Melbourne Victory. They are really turning the screw, trying to find this equaliser before half-time. And Perth Glory, a little hurried in their clearances as well, feeling the stress.
Again, it's Shamoon who gives it away this time. Genro comes more central with Santos. Being watched by Bozanovski. Perth's defence working hard, but Kaltak and Wooten, they will love the challenge. Space and time for Traore to measure the cross. It was too close to Sutton. Comfortable claim again. Traore, who's just his second appearance of the season. Oh, that was right on 8 seconds, I think. Sutton has one eye on the referee, who was counting it out.
Well, we get to see the corner from the 8-second rule in the A-League. But Sutton, he's pushing the boundaries every time now.
Clever from Valupale, brilliant. Dorigo now puts it back on his right boot, looks up, crosses, back post, Santos hooks it back again towards Insera. Esposito, here's the cry of shoot. And that had a little bit behind it as well. 45 seconds left in the 5 minutes added on. Valupale again. Is there going to be some late joy for Melbourne Victory at the end of this first half? Taking on Pennington. Now Genro. Once again, Perth hold firm. Davidson. The early cross in this time. Wooten. A rock at the back alongside Kaltak. Mata. Last chance now for Victory. Genro. Good ball. It's opened up here. The chance. Oh, and I think it was Josh Insera. Now the cutback from Traore. The follow-up. And it's in from Louis Dorigo. And the pressure tells finally. A first goal in Melbourne Victory colours for Louis Dorigo. And do you think he enjoyed it?
Well, you felt it was coming. The pressure was just getting turned up on the dial from Victory. They just kept coming and coming. And just when Glory thought they may have done enough, on the Harvey Norman replay, Mata picks up the ball and says, well, let's get it central. Nice 1 and 2 touch football. The miss-hit shot there, and you think maybe it's all over. And as it falls out to Dorigo, it hits it through bodies. Kaltak on the stretch, Sutton on the stretch, and it finds its way through somehow. through the bodies, through the numbers, and he draws them level. Well, I think Sutton just sees it late, doesn't he? Lots of bodies in front of him. Kaltak on the stretch. He had to go late. Well, this will give us a great view. Yeah, it was a great strike from Dorigo. And I think it's no more than the victory deserved in this first half of football.
Adam Griffiths furious that his side just couldn't hold on. The goal confirmed and timed at 49 minutes and 57 seconds, just before the end of the 5 minutes of stoppage time. Well, what an end to an intense first half of football. Two of the form sides in the competition certainly haven't disappointed in this first half at Amy Park. Trent Osler, with his first goal of the season, gave Perth the early lead, a Perth Glory side looking to hit on the counter-attack. But as the pressure intensified, in the end, it was Louis Dorigo's first goal for Melbourne victory in the 5th minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. That mean at the break, it's victory won, glory won.
It is an offence for any spectator to enter the field of play without authorisation. Any spectator who enters without authorisation will be evicted from the stadium. Are you Australia's safest driver? All Aussie drivers 18 years and over can take the AE driving test now for your chance to win big prizes. Follow the QR code below for your chance to win. For full terms and conditions, see ame.com.au/AE driving test.
With a free-thinking lender like Liberty on your team, you can score goals. Now if you're up to get the ball rolling. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Well, with thanks to Liberty, it's time to get the ball rolling. Not just any ball, this massive Liberty ball behind me. So we're going to team up here. We're going to win not just off the field with Liberty, but here on the field as well. We've got $50 Ultra Football vouchers to give away. Hopefully to Ben standing on my right and Bianca standing on my left. The task is simple. There's a giant ball behind me. They have 30 seconds to get this ball from this end of Amy Park to the exact opposite end. Ben, is there any technique to this, or are you just going to have at it? Just run. Bianca, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just run.
Just run. 2 simple words. So what I'm going to do, Ben and Bianca, I'm going to send you behind the ball here. The double Bs are in position. We're going to get the ball rolling with 30 seconds on the clock to win the $50 Ultra Football vouchers. They're discussing a technique. The techniques don't matter now because we're at 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Off they go. Giving themselves a 1 second head start. Who cares? Liberty gets the ball rolling. Bianca's just a participant at this point. As Ben gets it going, we've got some Perth Glory boys out there warming up. Who cares? Here it comes with 50.
when you unite together for that one goal in the 90 minutes, it's something special.
That is special! Huge moment for the Matildas.
The only place to see the Combank Matildas and every game of the AFC Asian Cup is on Paramount Plus.
This one's not just for the kids. Look at the age range we are covering with 6, 7. Yeah. I still don't understand it, but we're still doing it here in 2026, 7. Yeah. Absolutely. We all know what that one is. Get the ring up on the screen. We will see you there. This is Baby Cam around the Baby Park. Yeah. Come on, let's not play cool now. This one is all over the socials. Let's return to the pitch here at Amy Park. Once again, Melbourne. Make some noise in here for your boys in blue. Melbourne, victory!
Welcome back to Amy Park, 1-1 at the break, and this is how. Trent Osler in the 12th minute, giving Perth another early lead after their win over Melbourne City. But this time, the home side were able to fight back before the half-time interval. The pressure had been mounting, and in the end it was Louis Dorigo who lashed the ball home from the edge of the area. Left foot finish, squeezing under Matt Sutton. His first goal for Melbourne victory. Great scenes in the northern stand, and everything to play for in this second half. No changes to either side at the break. One-one with 45 minutes left to play between these two sides, who are both eyeing off 5th place if they can find that unanswered goal that could deliver them all 3 points here. Melbourne victory, looking for 4 wins in a row and a 6th consecutive win over Perth Glory. They have won the last 5 in a row. They've won the last 3 2-0. That won't be the case this evening, Daniel McBreen. But on that first half's offering, we know that this one could could go right down to the wire.
Well, 100%, Robbie. I think Adam Griffiths would have been asking his team just to step up a little bit, play a little bit more composed when they won that ball. They were under heavy pressure that final 15 minutes. And I think if they were to sit and play that way for the remaining 45 minutes, it's going to be a long night.
There are the lineups on the bottom of your screens. Trent Osler with the goal and the yellow. And Tom Lawrence, it hasn't quite been his night so far. We've seen the potential. We've seen some great strength. He set up Arian Suleimani for what could have been the youngster's first ever A-League goal, if not for a great save from Jack Duncan. Davidson with the captain's armband. Mata, little dink ball over the top for Virgos, looking for another headed goal.
Well, it's almost as if the break hasn't happened. Victory applying the pressure early in this second half. They've won the ball back high up the pitch.
Virgos, the cutback. Mata on the left. Well, his only Melbourne victory goal came in Perth early in this season against Perth Glory. He wasn't far away from a second there.
Well, I think we can see by his reaction what he thinks. He thinks he should have had another. They give it away early. And it's good play from Virgos. Look, he just waits and just puts it on a platter. He waits and he just doesn't quite get the slice across it to bring it back inside the post. And that's the second opportunity he's had from the edge of the box. That one probably better than the first.
We're finally seeing everything that Juan Mata brings to the A-League at the moment. He's in outstanding form. And he's not doing it all himself. He's just that, using the strength of all his teammates.
Yeah.
He's really bringing the whole thing together.
Yeah, 100%. The player can't do it on their own. He needs the team around him to play to help suit his style as well. And he's got plenty of mobile players around him who'll do the work, who'll run off him and make those runs for him to play those passes. And they seem to have got the mixture right over the past month or so.
The tackles are still flying in, which is good to see. It's been a match played at a great pace. Sometimes technique has taken a back seat to just ensuring the tackles get made and the sprints over 5 yards are there. Denny Jonro, case in point, cutting out that ball forward, looking for Tom Lawrence.
Well, that's the problem with Perth at the moment. They're so deep with their two banks of four and their two strikers sitting deep. When they do win the ball, there aren't many outlets going forward, and they have to be really cute with their passes. But the victory press has been fantastic.
Here's Shamu with Freeney. First time ball. Well, they've played their way through it this time pretty well. Tom Lawrence. Lawrence still. And in the end, getting that just about as wrong as you could. It's gone out for a throw on the far side.
Well, back in the day, that used to be a dinner or a round of drinks for the players. If the shot went for a throw-in, I wonder if those rules still apply these days. They did everything right up until that moment. Just as we said, Melbourne Victory's press was making it almost impossible. Well, they played their way all the way up the field. Tom Lawrence found himself in a shooting position.
And Osler did ever so well to win it back off Adama Traore, who apologised immediately. In fact, it was Tom Lawrence again. He's done that really well. He is a hard worker for his side. We'll get down to Michael Zapponi in a moment, as soon as we have a little break with that update out of the sheds at half-time. But it's Victory with the ball now. They've already had a good chance. Mata might yet fall for him. Here's Osler. Pennington. Still Pennington. It's opened up for him somehow. Cleared as far as Caltac. Pennington with Shamoon. As he holds on to Valupale, it's going to be a yellow card for Charbel Shamoon. Let's head down to Zappers now. Zappers.
It looks like Perth Glory are going to make some early changes in this second half. Adam Taggart about to make his way onto the park, but the news from the Perth Glory camp at half-time was that they were really disappointed not putting the game to bed early. They had some really good chances when they were all over Melbourne victory. That 1-on-1 especially, there could have been 2 or 3 up early doors, and obviously disappointed they couldn't hold on with conceding that goal with 3 seconds to go. On Miranda for victory. Heavy strapping on his hamstring. They wouldn't give too much else away.
Here are Victory on the front foot again, and they've got a corner off Denny Genro. There is that left hamstring of Roderick Miranda, which doesn't look great. And they've just lost Josh Rawlins to the Under-23 Asian Cup, of course, who is a player who can play as a recognised central defender as well. Corner to come. Mata delivers hard, back post. It's a set piece. Valupale! The training ground routine. Mata with the pinpoint delivery, and the Socceroo Nishan Valupale with his first goal of the season. Arthur Dillis, like a cat that got the milk. A big grin on the sidelines. And Victory, they have come from behind, but it's taken just 7 second half minutes for them to put their noses in front.
Well, on the Harvey Norman replay, just look at the ball. As you said, Robbie, right off the training pitch. They've obviously studied the way to glory defend corners. And it's pinpoint from Juan Mata. Look at that. Nishan Valupale, aided by a wicked deflection that he won't care. Juan Mata runs behind the goals to celebrate with the fans, and Nishan Valupale puts them in front.
Double change coming for the visitors. Kwano comes on for Trent Osler. And Aryan Suleimani makes way for Adam Taggart. There is Kwano. So not the same impact as against Melbourne City for Aryan Suleimani. Had that chance, of course, to make it 2-0 to Perth when released by Tom Lawrence. And now the big question is, what do Perth have in reserve? Can they dig deep? Can they find a way back into this contest? Qua bundled over by Santos, and they are going to have a set piece here.
Well, the 2 substitutions for Glory will help their cause going forward. Kwano, wonderfully gifted with the feet, and we all know Adam Taggart's goal-scoring exploits. So a bit of firepower added.
Those Victory fans, numbers coming back in that northern stand. Now Tom Lawrence is standing over this one, so is the Kiwi international Sam Sutton. Lawrence delivers. Good header from Esposito. Brian Caltac. And there was somebody in an offside position in all of that. It may well have been Brian Caltac himself.
I was just thinking, I'll have a look here. There he is in an offside position as the ball is then cleared.
Well, that's the sign of a well-marshalled defence so far. 4 offsides against Perth Glory. His first game in charge was a 2-0 loss against Melbourne Victory. Adam Griffiths. The side's come a long way since then. Kwano, and that probably wasn't the right pass in that situation. I think he realised it as soon as it left his boot as well. Chip giveaway though from Jason Davidson. Melbourne Victory won't want to open the door here to Perth Glory. They do have quality in that front third, particularly with the introduction of Adam Taggart. They know where the back of the net is, but so does that man, Juan Mata. Brilliant play. Now Santos taking on Sutton. Burgos in the middle, cross back post. Malupale can't get there. And that was almost a role reversal here as Victory transition on the counter.
And again, Victory's at the heart of it. Mata, beautiful touch. Uses his defenders with ease. And then gets the victory on the front foot. And they've got their confidence, Melbourne Victory, now in that final third. We heard Arthur Dillis saying the big difference between now and the start of the season is that they're putting those chances away. We spoke ad nauseum about how they had struggled. Did they have the right formation? Did they have the right combinations? Well, confidence is a wonderful thing in football. They need to be organised and composed at the back with that changed up back line and not give Glory any sniffs.
Malupale showing good pace to get away from Bozanovski. We just saw the attacking channels preferred by Victory as well. Basically 40% down the right, 40% down the left, and 20 through the middle. It shows that it's a game plan that's balanced. Great noise from the fans as well. You can really hear it this evening. Here's Traore. Little touch, and that's well cut out by Shamoon. Bozanovski now, Lawrence, who comes deep looking for the ball. Here's Kwa. Taggart's in the middle. Lawrence wrestling with Burgos, it was, getting back. No free kick for Kwano. Denny Genre looks out, the run from Velupale. Everything just got a little bit static all of a sudden. Defence is on top. And it's the hustle that's coming out with the upper hand at the moment. Again, Perth look to sit a little deeper. Adama Traore. Genre. There's a good spell of possession for Melbourne Victory. Just taking the sting out of that last few minutes of Perth up the other end. Josh Insera. Oh, the cross all the way through. Well, bodies dodging out of the way. Could have got a little bit more dangerous for Matt Sutton.
Well, he had the luxury of seeing it come from a long way. He hasn't had one or two goals that have gone in. And they have struggled to really keep any meaningful possession in this second half, Perth Glory, such as the intensity of the press again from Victory.
Great challenge by Santos. Little 1-2 with Burgos, so he's just pushed a little wide. You can see the confidence that was absent in Santos just a month ago has just come back. That's a credit to Arthur Dillis, who's stood by his players. Sydney FC, who are in action tomorrow in Melbourne, will be watching this one. The Big Blue is coming up on the 26th of January. And that will be the traditional Big Blue, 5:30 in the afternoon. Already looking forward to that one with two sides that are in form near the top of the table.
Well, it's a funny game, football, isn't it? You talk about confidence. Talked about Melbourne Victory needing another striker to push Virgos. Well, as we all know, strikers, when they get one, invariably they get a second, and then all of a sudden it's Rosie again. Said it before that I think Nishan Velupillay has brought some energy to the team, Louis Dorigo as well, and his whole team has lifted. The whole squad, they're starting to perform, the confidence is there, the understanding is growing.
It'll be interesting to see if Jason Davidson continues in the centre of defence in the absence, well, and we assume absence for at least a little while of their captain Roderick Miranda. Qua releasing Sutton, cross in, Davidson's header, here's Bozanovski. Well, they got a few goals last season with Western United as he really found his feet there. He's been good for Perth Glory as well. Just the goals missing at the moment.
There was only the one runner from Perth Glory. Pennington was late to try and get across that front post area. When it fell to Bozanovski, it was always going to be difficult from that distance. And you see the shots and the shots on target. At the half-hour mark, Perth Glory were leading that. It's comfortably on the side of Melbourne Victory now.
Taggart putting pressure on Davidson. He managed to find Traore. Jeanro's done well. Got the better of Shamoun. And then just asking too much of Nikos Virgos. Perth are going to have to throw caution to the wind at some point if they want to get that fourth consecutive away win for the first time in club's history in the A-League. Here's Sutton, little touch, oh, and that's well played, Dorigo. Clever, controlled, tackling pass for Santos. He was looking for Mata, it finds Virgos. He's continued his run, the Brazilian. Freeney, fouled.
Well, he did well there, committed to win the ball and then just got his body in the way, felt the contact.
Caltac. Bozanovski, Caltac again. 20 minutes gone in the second half. Pennington. He managed to get there and catch Davidson as well as he slid in. Back to his feet, he'll be loving the challenge.
And Pennington just looking to swing the foot behind that and keep it in play. Probably caught Davidson.
Well, there is one of the old NSL jerseys of Perth Glory, the chicken treat. And Mr. Tanner. That's the old Bernd Stanger days of the NSL champions. Or was it Wollongong that won that one? In a thriller.
The 3-3 penalty shootout.
That's the one. Great to see. The old jerseys. The traditions that the A-League is building. Ball in, back post. Bozanovski gets it clear. Looking at the average age around the ground as well. At least half the people in the stadium weren't born when the A-League started. Here's Valupale, the shot. Comfortable enough for Matt Sutton. We're also seeing so many of the sons coming through the A-Leagues whose dads played in the A-Leagues as well. It's all part of building the traditions and the culture of this great competition, the highest level of the game for club football in Australia.
And the latest, Jai Rose last night, Josh Rose's son. His first A-League minutes for Western Sydney Wanderers.
And looked right at home.
Yep, he did.
Qua trying to get the piggyback ride on the back of Louis Dorigo.
Well, they need to do something, don't they? Melbourne Victory seeming very comfortable at the moment, very confident and assured, knocking the ball around. Still only the one goal between the two. So they're going to have to not let their guards slip, but it seems comfortable at the moment.
Well, you see, it's still been end-to-end. Victory certainly more dominant in terms of territory, and here they come again with Josh Insera. Crosses back post, Virgos won't be able to keep it in. Had fun Mata on the edge of the area, was looking for it as well. Well, it's a bit strange to see Nikos Virgos without a goal at this stage.
Giving it away again.
Both sides have given the ball away a lot. Bozanovski. Oh, Jean-Rose done brilliantly. Here's Mata. Juan Mata, Santos! And it was another costly giveaway. Brilliant play from Denny Jean-Rose, who gets a hug from Juan Mata. And the Spaniard with the assist for the Brazilians. Second in as many games. And Mackie, you were just saying, Victory were looking the more likely scorers. Well, now they have their third goal.
And justly deserved. You'll see on the Harvey Norman replay, it's a turnover again high. And then it's Denny Jean-Rose, does ever so well under immense pressure down in the corner. He doesn't give up. And Perth Glory do, that's the problem. And when the ball falls to Juan Mata inside the box, it spells danger. Look at the fight here. He does wonderfully well to keep that in. And then Juan Mata has all the time in the world to pick his spot. And Santos says, thank you very much. I'll have that, and tucks it away to give him the breathing space. Clearly kept in by Denny Jean-Rose. Sam Sutton, Adam Griffiths will be seething that he stops there. But all credit to that man, Denny Jean-Rose. He's been missing out through suspension. He's been back a little bit. Well, he's given back a little there, and then it's the celebrations from Santos. A little bit of a slip with the hand there. You might get a word from Arthur Dillis too about the celebrations, but he won't care right now. A little bit of breathing space. I mean, we're just saying how comfortable they looked moving the ball around. Well, you just put a little bit of breathing space into it. And if the job wasn't hard enough already for Perth, well, it's just got a lot harder.
The crowd are on their feet and applauding. There's a really good feeling around Melbourne Victory at the moment. A quite remarkable turnaround from what, at least from the outside, Arthur Dillis always said they're focusing on what they're doing, they're keeping out the noise. Here they come again, Santos for Velupale. Mata arriving back post. Oh, and Velupale didn't see him. Genre foul, free kick. And the crowd are enjoying it. It's going to be a yellow card here for Pennington. Victory right on top at the moment.
But that's just frustration from Pennington. They just can't seem to keep the ball. It's Genre, just fleet of foot. They just can't get out of their half. It is like a wet blanket. They just can't shake it. Melbourne victory. They are riding high.
The South End in fine voice as well. Dorigo and Mata standing over the free kick. It looks as though Dorigo is a little bit more intent. It is Dorigo's delivery. The header from Pennington again. Another corner coming for Melbourne victory. Their 8th of the evening. Melbourne victory, 1 win in their first 7 matches this season. They had just 5 points from a possible 21. Now they're looking at 4 wins on the bounce.
Well, if you want to have an example of how dominant victory have been, Adam Taggart has been on the pitch now for close to 20 minutes and has touched the ball once.
Well, that's how the tables have turned at about the 25-minute mark of this contest, and since Taggart's come on, unfortunately, the die had already been cast. There's still time though for Perth, but they do need to try and turn it around. Burgos deflected. Santos is there. Santos might still get there. Dorigo as well. Bozanovski gets there. Again though, the pass is not released. Lawrence was in the middle waiting for it, and victory come again. Mata enjoying himself with Santos. Velupale. Esposito. Genre. Mata. Now Taggart might get a touch. Not even. Jason Davidson thinks that Taggart did get that second touch. And it's gone Perth's way. There's the second half in terms of possession. Sam Sutton trying to get a little too far forward. Arthur Dillis is preparing the changes now, with Keegan Jelassic and Matt Grimaldi preparing to come into the game. And that tells the story, doesn't it? Taggart racing on, but 4 shots on target in the second half to none for Perth. And they had a couple of other near misses as well.
Well, it's just been pure domination.
Freeney getting a little talking to from Casey Rybelt. That might be the end of the night for Juan Mata. Time to wrap him up in cotton wool with 15 minutes left. It is the Spaniard who's had another good game. They had to do it the hard way. Melbourne victory after conceding early. They were on the back foot, but they kept their cool, and Mata gets another standing ovation. He provided the assist for Nishan Velupillay to get victory's second. He is a real fan favourite here as he makes his way off, and Nishan Velupillay, who's got his first goal of the season, also makes way for the former Perth Glory man, Keegan Jelassic, who comes on.
Well, two players coming off who have had a major impact on the changing fortunes. Two coming on who have scored recently, late goals. Nothing to add to that, I'm sure.
And changes for Perth Glory as well. Giovanni Diabru is coming on, but not before Luke Amos. So that's a sight for sore eyes for Perth Glory fans, with their English number 10, a first appearance of the season for him, as he replaces Nick Pennington. And Diabru, a very highly ranked youngster, comes on for Reece Bozanovski. Grimaldi and Jelassic, as Macca mentioned. There's more goals coming off the bench with this victory side. Genre fouled by Diabru, who doesn't mind a tackle, the youngster.
He's just looking to get involved straight away. As we said, something has to give, something has to happen.
And if it's going to happen, it has to happen sooner rather than later for Melbourne victory. Oh, Genre, he's been caught in possession. Amos, immediate impact. Here's Kwa. Taggart's in the middle. Kwa, he scored! And Perth are back in it. Kwano with a first ever A-League goal. Looks like he can scarcely believe it, the youngster. What an impact Amos has made, stealing the ball away. Great moment for the youngster, and perhaps Perth are not finished yet.
Well, on the Harvey Norman replay, Denny Genre just went to sleep, didn't he? Didn't see Amos coming in the back. And it's a wonderful ball, and it's a tidy finish as well. Kwano with the outside of the right foot tucks it away, and what looked to be a game that was sailing to an easy 3 points with Melbourne victory is alive again. And just like that, the mood can change.
Well, he's got a big personality, the youngster. He's a big favourite of the players and his teammates at Perth Glory. He's come through the ranks there. And now he's got that A-League goal to his name. The 26th appearance. Nearly all of them off the bench. And now are things going to change? There's a bit of fight about this Perth Glory side all of a sudden.
Well, there's renewed hope now, isn't there? Adam Griffiths back out of the seat. Back out. Stalking the technical area, trying to push his team. All of a sudden, mood's just changed a little. It is the first shot on target in the second half. Draws them a goal closer.
Sutton's early ball for Taggart, who was trying to get her the right side of Davidson. Amos can't control his header though. But the quality is out there. We were mentioning the likes of Taggart and Lawrence. They've been joined now by Kwa and Amos in this second half. Well, they've enjoyed a good match of A-League football, haven't they? I wonder if anyone's caught the eye. We know that Tony Popovic is more than happy to back A-League players with the national team. Santos again. Well, we might yet get that draw that we didn't want to talk about at the top of the programme, with so much at stake for these two sides. Here's Grimaldi. Newcastle Jets 3-1 winners over Auckland. MacArthur in a thriller 1-0 over the Wanderers last night. Victory. They're trying to hang on for 10 minutes, but Perth will not give this away. There's how it stands at the moment on the Hungry Jacks live ladder. MacArthur, that trio of teams on 18 points. Sydney are in action tomorrow, so are Brisbane. And I can tell you, Brisbane's match at Redcliffe is officially a sellout.
Well, it's fantastic
what is
to
cooking
see.
up there?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. What's said about Brisbane more, their style and the way they go about things. They're striking a chord up there. When you're getting results, that's what people want to see. They want to be able to get behind their team and know that they're going to at least be in for the fight for the 3 points every match. And, well, let's be honest, Brisbane Roar are ready for that every week, aren't they?
It's Wellington Phoenix who will be heading to Redcliffe to take them on. And then Brisbane are straight back down to Melbourne because they play Melbourne City next Tuesday as well. It's a busy time of the year. Now, that's not something you see too often, but the ball has made it all the way up onto the second tier. Ooh, and that could have been dangerous as it was thrown back down to people a little...
Zappers didn't get hit there, did he?
Unwitting. No, Zappers is on the other side.
It's all safe here.
Zappers is always scanning anyway, like a good midfielder should. Dorigo. Referee allows play to continue. Jelassic invites Traore forward. Traore's shot. Well, 2 of his 6 A-League goals have come against Perth. Why not look for a third? Horton. Ian Caltac conceding more than 1 goal in a game for the first time since they played Melbourne Victory back in round 3. And it was a terrible start. They conceded 2 against Phoenix, 4 against Melbourne City, then 2 against Melbourne Victory. Then they really tightened things up. Now Santos. Sam Sutton is going to try and get him off. Another double change. With Oliver Dragicevic coming on along with Jing Rees, Denny Genreau. We saw a mixed bag from Denny Genreau. Helped create that 3rd goal, which might yet be the winner, but also opened the door for Perth to get back into the contest.
Yeah. We were disappointed. And that was the great work to lead to Santos's goal. We were disappointed what happened at the other end when he just switched off. And now Amos to steal in and give Glory some hope.
Insera for Virgos. Up against Will Freeney. He's done well, Virgos. Great use of the body. He's won the throw. Juan Mata with a bit of ice on the inside of that left thigh. And a couple of jokes as well. That get a smile on the face of Roderick Miranda, who can't be feeling too chuffed at the moment with that new, what looks like another hamstring injury for him. He missed the start of the season as well, through injury. Denis Genreau there as well. It's been really hard fought, really good competitive, even match of football in the A-League. Exactly what we've become used to this season. Here's Kwa. Freeney with Kaltak. Amos, who's been out with injury, has been finally fit, but as Adam Griffith said in the pre-match press conference, needs to get a lot fitter if he wants to start starting matches. Sutton's done well. Ball in. Perth Glory with plenty of numbers forward. Kaltak does well, keeps them on the front foot. Still Brian Kaltak. Kwa against Dorigo. Kwa still, oh, he's done well. Hooks the cross in. Taggart was waiting. Jing Reese heads away. Well, that was good play from Kwa, who's got it again here. This time against Insera. That's better defended by Josh Insera.
Well, he's done very well there, Josh Insera. Oh no, very tricky customer. Showed what he could do in the first outing. Look at that. Gets himself side on, gets his body across, and then just shields it out of play and just eases the game for Melbourne victory.
2.5 minutes in the 90 remain, and then there may well be a few minutes of stoppage time added on just for the drama of it all. We've had so many late goals in the A-League this season, late winners, late equalisers. That's taken a few touches on the way through. It's come off Virgos last, according to...
Oh, I think it's an offside.
It's an offside. Well, whatever the decision is, Melbourne Victory don't like it at the moment. The only thing they're interested in is a full-time whistle. Traore. One of the great time-wasting tricks to just make sure with the referee that you're taking the throw from the right position. That's well played by Grimaldi. Those youngsters with the front row seat, loving the show. Jelassic against his former club. He hasn't seen too much of the ball since coming on. Burgos, who spent the whole first half trying to get Matt Sutton to take goal kicks quickly, is there trying to stop him. Kaltak, long. Davidson, the defensive header. Perth will have the throw, an attacking throw. Time for the kitchen sink for Perth. Kaltak again. Oh, it's a hopeful ball forward that Taggart can only turn and chase. Again, Kaltak just taking a moment too long. Dragicevic sent cartwheeling around by Freeney. Diabru back with Freeney again. Wharton for Sutton. Here's Lawrence. Wants the ball back left, Tom Lawrence. Hasn't had the same impact he did on Sunday. Tom Lawrence, who was Charbel Shamoun loses out to the veteran Adama Traore. Five minutes of stoppage time. 4 of those left. Oh, was there a high boot? There was, from Adam Taggart. He asked the question, what was that for? He got the answer.
Well, it was high, but he did pull out, didn't he? I don't think there was any contact made. That may be enough to make Adama Traore just pull out of the challenge.
Adam Griffiths asking Kwa to play higher. They need the goal. They're going to have a goal kick here. They're going to have the chance to try and get moving forward again. No more playing out from the back. 92nd minute, chasing the game. Sutton goes long. It's a good header from Esposito. Now Shamoun. Traore misses it. Taggart's lurking. Casey Rybelt making sure that there's only one ball on the pitch, that the throws are taken from the right place. Again, Perth, they need something special here, Perth. They're just lacking ideas when it gets into that final third area.
Well, we've seen the use of long throws this season in particular, haven't we? I just wonder if they have one in their arsenal. Just get it in. The likes of Scott Wootton or Brian Kaltak in the box. It's the last couple of minutes.
Wootton. It's a good switch for Shamoun. Closed down quickly by Traore. He's been good coming on very early in the contest for the injured Miranda. As Davidson moved to centre back. Kaltak. Wootton. Victory staying organised, staying disciplined. It's long. Kwa's going to get there. He's got support. Sutton. The cross in. Arriving. And just behind him, Luke Amos couldn't arch the head around enough and try and get it on target. And that might have been Perth Glory's last chance.
And he came at it quick, didn't he? It wasn't a bad ball, but he had to try and crane the neck. As we tick over to just 1 minute left, it's added time. It's going to take something special now from Perth Glory.
Anywhere will do. Louis Dorigo with the big up and under. Jelassic making a nuisance of himself. Dragicevic as well. Dorigo fighting for everything. These are the final seconds now. Wootton. They need it up the other end. Jelassic turns to chase, but he'd given up before it came from Dragicevic, who has it now, perhaps. Jin Rees hits it. It was a good strike, and it's a good save from Matt Sutton. That could have been curtains. It might yet be. Dragicevic keeps it alive. He's done well. Here's Jin Rees, and there it is. Melbourne victory. Did it the hard way, coming from behind and then holding on against Perth Glory. It's a 6th consecutive win over Perth Glory in their head-to-head record. It's a 4th consecutive win for them in the A-League, and it sees their rise continue. They are up to 5th. Arthur Dillis's side, didn't they enjoy that? Perth Glory are held. Perth Glory's ascension is stalled. We will see for how long. Adam Griffith's side had moments, perhaps let it slip when they didn't get that second or third goal when they were on top early. And against an informed Melbourne Victory side, they ultimately paid the penalty. Juan Mata was again instrumental after Osler had given Perth the lead. Dorigo with his first goal for Melbourne Victory. Valupale with his first of the season. Santos' second in as many games before Quano got his first ever A-League goal. A night of stories, a night of drama, as they always are in the Isuzu UTE A-League. And this one has ended in Melbourne Victory's favour by 3-2. Well, Macca, Arthur Dillis is all smiles, and well he might be. He is the man at the helm of this Victory side that's been turned around.
And turned around they have. It was almost a disastrous start to the season, but they are flying now, full of confidence. Wasn't the best start tonight, going down 1-0, but not long after that, Jack Duncan made a wonderful save to keep it at 1-0. Well, it was all Melbourne Victory.